Hi everybody, my name is Aaron. Welcome to Hung Up on Horror. We're starting big. We're doing franchises, tier listing. And I thought, what better way for you as a viewer to get to know me as the host of the channel than to rank every franchise in horror? Or at least I think everyone. I made these, so if I've missed any, let me know. That way, by the end of the video, you'll be able to tell whether this channel is going to be for you or not. Because my rankings are gonna probably differ from yours. Before we begin, I'm going to rename some of the tiers. We're gonna put the top tier as never done wrong. Never done wrong, never had a bad movie. Not saying they're all great, but not one bad movie. And let's go with strong start. That's wrong. Strong start. No, I've put strong. Never mind. Strong start. Usually a franchise, especially in horror, would start off strong. There's many I can think of immediately. But then they tend to just drift into horror comedy and then just pure balls to the wall comedy and not horror after that. Hit and miss is our third tier. Hit and miss. I'm gonna change that. It'll just look better to that. The next one, tier C, which would actually be our fourth tier, is one bad egg. One bad egg spoils the bunch. Nothing comes to mind at the minute, but I'm sure we'll find something to put in that basket. Then the final tier, quit while I'm giving them all capitals. I don't know why. You're behind. I'm sure we can all think of one or two franchises that might fall in to that category. Alright, let's begin. I don't know what's popping up here. I created them. I know what's in there. I know there's about 30 franchises. I might have missed some, so if I did, let me know. But I don't know what order they're going to show up in. So let's start. Okay, Psycho. As a franchise, not a film. That's important. That's very important. As a franchise, not a movie. As a franchise, where would I put Psycho? Psycho in 1960? 1960, Psycho. Jeez. Wow, we're going back. That's why I'm looking down here, by the way. I have notes. Psycho, Psycho 1, Psycho 2, Psycho 3. I have seen the majority of them. I've definitely not seen all of them. Where would I put Psycho? As a franchise, though. I don't know, not great. Okay, so by the way, these are interchangeable. Wherever I place them, they're maybe not gonna stay there. So I'm gonna start with strong start. Psycho, absolute classic. Hitchcock, really a pioneer for horror. But as a franchise, that will probably move. I feel like that's probably gonna move. Okay, up next, we've got Amityville Horror. I know there's fucking tons of these, so no, I have not seen every single film. I've dropped it in Quit While You're Behind because I don't even remember the first one being all that great anyway. Maybe it was. I'm gonna leave it down there and I think it's gonna stay down there. What's up next? Child's Play. Child's Play. It's going straight, no, it's not going straight to the top. I've changed my mind immediately. It's going in strong start. Oh, that's hard because it had a dip. I think it had a dip when it got to Seed, maybe even Bride. Don't like those comedy ones. They're okay. I'm gonna leave it in strong start for now, and then we'll see where it goes. It could go in hit or miss because there is some in the middle, like I said. Not really for me. We'll leave it there for now though. Definitely a strong start. The original was amazing. I've even got some merch there. I have a Chucky doll. I have two actually right there. You can't see them up. They're just off camera, but I have two of them. I'm gonna leave it in strong start. Okay, next up we have The Ring. Again, as a franchise, not a movie. Where would I put it as a franchise? I think there's a lot of films in the Ring franchise as well. Just gonna look at my notes. Oh god, there is a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And 2 TV series. 14 films, no franchise needs that many. I do really like the first one. It's not a one bad egg film franchise though. Unfortunately it's quit while you're behind, because that many films in, they can't be good. I've not seen them all, but I'm pretty sure they can't be good. Okay, next up we've got the Blair Witch Project. Again, it's as a franchise. I mean, hit and miss? I'm gonna put it in hit and miss. The first one, 1999, iconic, pioneer once again of the found footage genre. Second one, Book of Shadows, absolute shit. The third one, and I think that's all there is so far, Blair Witch, when did that come out? Blair Witch 2016, not terrible, but not great either. I actually recently met the cast and got a whole signed picture by them. They were amazing, they're such good people as well. I'm gonna leave it in hit or miss. Hit or miss seems to fit that franchise pretty well. Strong start would have been appropriate, except that 2016 one wasn't too terrible, so we're gonna leave it there. Next up, we got The Exorcist. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose a few of you here, but I didn't like it. Now don't get me wrong, the Regan scenes, any scene with Regan, amazing. But the film itself, it was so disjointed, so disconnected, it was boring at times. I just couldn't, I can't like it. As a franchise, we did just have Exorcist Believer, which was okay. I can't put it, maybe hit and miss, for now. Okay, next up we've got The Purge. Purge is a good film. It's weird because Purge, when the first Purge came out, not the first Purge, that's a sequel, but when The Purge came out, I was like, oh, this is interesting and it's really good. I love home invasion horrors anyway, but I thought that The Purge was going to be like across the city, and it was going to be chaotic and everyone was going to be trying to kill each other overnight, and that's what I thought the first one was going to be like, and then it wasn't, but I enjoyed it anyway. But then the second one came out and I was like, oh, they're giving us what we wanted. This is what we wanted. And then it just wasn't that good. It was okay. I think this film, what's it got, like 4 sequels? It's Purge, The Purge 2, what the fuck was it called? It's Purge Election Year. Okay, so yeah, we got them. We got Purge, we got Purge Anarchy, we got Purge Election Year, which is the one I remember. We got the first Purge, which is not the first of it's the prequel. And then we got the Forever Purge, and then apparently we have another one coming up. So that would be 6. Definitely a franchise. I don't mind them. I liked the first one a lot. I'm gonna put it in strong start. Doesn't mean, by the way, if a strong start, that the rest of them were terrible. It just means it started strong, and then it definitely wasn't as good after that. But still good. Next up, we've got I Know What You Did Last Summer. Again, as a franchise, I'm gonna put it in immediately hit or miss. This might change in a second, but the first one was really good. The first one came out in 1997. I was 7 years old. Why was I watching this? But then it did have a reboot TV series recently that got cancelled. It had a sequel, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which was okay. And then I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, which kind of took the franchise in a supernatural direction, I think. Didn't like it. But really good first film, not a bad second film. I'm gonna put it in One Bad Egg. I feel like that third one kind of screwed it all over. One Bad Egg. Okay, next up, we got X. I didn't know whether to call the franchise X, because that's just the first movie in the Ty West trilogy. Maybe I should have called it the Ty West trilogy. But X was the first one, so I've just put X. So far, never done wrong. Our first one in the top tier. Never done wrong. I loved X, I loved Pearl, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do well with Maxine coming out hopefully this year as well. So that goes straight to the top. There's nothing wrong with that franchise at the moment. Hopefully we'll stay that way as well. Okay, we got The Conjuring. Do I include The Nun and the Annabelle in this franchise, or are they franchises of their own now? I don't know. Let's just stick with Conjuring. I'm gonna put it in strong start for now. Again, these could change. And again, my opinion. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. Don't kick off. What's up next? Oh, we got Halloween. Oh, see, this is tricky. Because, personally, Halloween is my favorite horror film ever. But I have to stick to my own rules. As a franchise, is it hit and miss? Oh, well, let's just drop it there for a second so I can talk. Is it hit and miss? Oh, that original film was amazing. Watched it last night. The 2018 trilogy, again, I really liked. Didn't you know, get too on board with the Halloween Ends plot, but as a new trilogy, I liked it. But as a franchise, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one, and I don't know if I'm ready to make that decision. I am gonna bump it up to Strong Start for now, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens. What's up next? Oh, another big one, another classic, Friday the 13th. Let's drop it there. Hit and miss because first four, when they kind of stuck to the realms of reality, Jason was just a guy. Those first four, the part 3 and the part 4 are two of my favorite horrors. But when they brought it back, part 5, Jason Lives, and then it all started to go a bit Jason zombie direction. And also the films became a bit like, you know, just repetitive, and they were just copies of themselves. As a franchise, didn't really keep me interested. However, I'm gonna bump it up to Strong Start, I think, again. Maybe my reasoning for all of these is completely off, but I feel like Strong Start, what is there, 8, 9, 10 of them? There's a lot of them, but that first part, 1, 2, 3, and 4, that first real part of the franchise, which is where they were planning on stopping, and then they carried on. Obviously brought the IP back because it was making money. I really liked that parts 1 to 4. Strong Start. What do we got? We got The Hills Have Eyes. Hills Have Eyes, first one was really good. Second one was actually really good as well. Did they make more? I remember the second one. It was the one with the military guy and Danielle Alonso. Obviously there's the original, and I'm not obviously gonna ignore that, but I'm just talking as a franchise. Once again, this is not the film, this is the franchise. It was the original, and there was a remake, obviously 2006, and then there was a sequel to that one. So there's 3, I think, unless I'm missing something. Oh no, there's 2 original sequel, and so that means there's 4. I think there's an original sequel to the original film, and then there's a remake, and then there's a sequel to that remake. So there's 4. I think hit and miss seems right. They were good. I'm gonna leave it hit or miss, I think. Up next, we got Alien. Alien's a tricky one because those original films were amazing. 1 and 2, and then 3 kind of rocked the boat a little bit. And then we had like Prometheus, and which I will include in this franchise. I know I didn't include like Annabelle and The Nun for Conjuring, but for the Alien franchise, I think I will include Prometheus. Alien, I'm gonna put it in Strong Start. A lot of these films falling into the Strong Start category at the minute. Again, that might change. The majority are going to fall in. I'm just wondering if there's a pattern here. So we got slasher, kind of a slasher, home invasion, paranormal one, another slasher, a slasher, and a sci-fi. There's a little bit of a mix, but there's a slasher theme as well. Okay, moving on. We got It. Oh, you know what? It's going up there. The original is a TV movie, which was 2-parter. There's 2 films there, and then there's the 2 remakes, and there's an upcoming Derry series as well. All of them are good. Not much else to say on that one. All of them are good. Okay, we got The Lost Boys. Immediately I want to go Strong Start because the original is classic, iconic film, but maybe it's more hit and miss because there's 2 or 3 other sequels after that in my opinion were all a bit shit. So maybe it goes hit and miss. I'm gonna leave it where it is. Up next, we have Hell House. Hell House LLC. There's now 4 of these. New one just came out a couple of months ago. They're all good. I think it goes straight to Never Done Wrong. Now bearing in mind, when I put it in a top category like Never Done Wrong, that doesn't mean I'm saying it's the best franchise ever made. It just means, as a franchise, it's got all good films. They're all good. I'm gonna leave it in there. Hell House, top tier. Never Done Wrong. They're all good, by the way. If you haven't seen them, check them out. Found footage, Ghosts, I think. They're all good. Okay, up next, Jeepers Creepers. It's going one of these. I know it. It was a strong start. Actually, the second one was really good as well. But then the third and the fourth, I'm gonna go hit and miss, because the third and the fourth one, which was Reborn, one of the worst films I've ever seen. Then we've got The Living Dead. And now with the Living Dead franchise, I'm including like all of the Dead films. So Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, all of those. There are some bad ones. There are some great ones. Dawn of the Dead original and 2004's remake with hit and miss. That's about right. Okay, next we've got Insidious. Insidious as a franchise, other than the new one, which was terrible and just nothing happened in it, and then when it finally got interesting, it ended. That was it. I'm gonna put it in, does it go in one bad egg? Because there was one bad egg, and now the franchise I don't feel is, I think The Conjuring's overtaken it. The first one was brilliant and I love the music to it as well, but I'm gonna put it in one bad egg for now. Okay, we got Evil Dead as a franchise. We've got the original, we've got the original sequel, we've got Army of Darkness, which was great. We got the remake, and we got Evil Dead Rise as well, and they're all good. Evil Dead might be heading it up to top tier. Never Done Wrong that I know of, that I can think of immediately off the top of my head. Okay, up next we have Paranormal Activity as a franchise. I would say majority is good. Majority is good. They're definitely spinning off. They did Next of Kin, which was, I think, it felt like it was a very separate film, but as a franchise, for now, I think it's gonna go top tier. I really enjoyed them. I feel like they got a lot of flack, but each film progressed the storyline a little bit more each time, and that's good for me. I like story, I like narrative. These films did that. I'm gonna leave it there. Alright, we got Hellraiser. I'm gonna put it as Quit While You're Behind. Unfortunately, love the first one. Really liked the remake last year or a year or two ago. That was really good, but other than that, I don't know if I like the franchise that much at all. It's not really my thing anyway. Again though, this doesn't mean that they're all terrible. It doesn't even mean that I dislike them. It just means that I would be okay if they didn't make any more. Alright, we got Final Destination. I'm gonna put it in hit and miss for now. Let's just talk about it though. Hit and miss. Final Destination. There's a lot of them, at least 5, maybe 6 now. First one was great, and I really liked the Final Destination 5. Was it the one, spoilers by the way, was it the one where it turned out that film was set back in the 90s? We didn't realise it while we were watching it, and then it turns out that he's on the plane at the end, and it was a big loop round to the first film. That was amazing. So I did not see that coming when I first watched it. That was great. I do feel like the sequels in between the first one and the fifth one were just a bit empty and hollow, and they were just clearly cashing in on this idea of we can just make creative kills and put it on film and then sell it. Hit and miss. Let's go hit and miss. Okay, next up we got Saw. Again, as a franchise, I think hit and miss seems to be right. First 3 really good. They definitely, as writers, directors, producers, whoever made the decision to kill off John Kramer, is 100% regretting that decision, because he seems to be in every film, and they've found a way with Saw X, they found a way to bring him back by doing a prequel, sequel, in between Saws 1 and 2, I think it was, or 2 and 3. And then they're also doing another one, Saw 11, this year. They knew they messed up with this franchise, and I feel like Saw 4, 5, 6, 7, there's so many, Jigsaw, Spiral, they were missing him. They were missing John Kramer. That's why he was in every one of them. They found a way. I'm actually going to drop it down one. I'd say one bad egg, but it's actually quite a few bad eggs in that franchise that could be just cut out completely. Okay, next up we got Reps. 4 of these. First one was great. Second one was great as well. In the original franchise Rec, the Spanish, I think they're Spanish films, they do go a bit too far, I think, with 3 and 4, but let's put it in hit and miss, because those originals, which did get the American remake treatment, they got Quarantine, those originals were very, very good, were very well made. Okay, we got VHS. I think this franchise is just gonna speak for itself. Hit and miss. Anthology, right? So there's gonna be something for everybody in there. You're gonna like something, you're gonna hate something, you're gonna be indifferent. But either way, it's hit and miss. Okay, we got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I keep having to remind myself that I'm not judging on the film, I'm judging on the franchise. Which means it's gonna go up in strong start. It's gonna go up in strong start. The original, obviously a classic, but then it almost seemed like immediately they went into comedy. I'm a big comedy fan, but when I want horror, and I don't want the mix necessarily, unless it's done well. The Texas Chainsaw films just became a bit ridiculous. A lot of remakes in this one, a lot of sequels set 20, 30, 40 years after the original. None of them living up to that original though, so strong start seems to fit very well for this. Next we've got Nightmare on Elm Street. You can see Freddy over there. It's one of those franchises that just gone on for so long, there's so many of them. I think strong start seems fair. It's genuinely one of the best films, best horror films. One of the most unique stories. There is a few duds, but it's going in here in strong start. It's going in strong start. It's fair. Next up we've got Wrong Turn, and I think there's 4 of them. First one was great, second one was good as well, and now I just think there's so many. Maybe it drops into Quit While You're Behind. Maybe. I'm gonna drop it in there now. Let me think about it. As of right now, I'm just gonna leave it there. I feel like it fits. Again, not saying that it's a bad franchise, I'm just saying it's done. Leave it. We don't need no more. Actually, it did get a remake, or a reboot, or whatever it was, 2 or 3 years ago, but that wasn't all that great either. I didn't think so anyway, I got bored. Next up, we got Scream. This is going straight to top tier. There's not a bad film in the Scream franchise. Love them all the way through. Scream 3 was a bit of a low point, no doubt it was, but it still wasn't a bad film. And then, I know they're a bit controversial, but the Scream 5 and 6, the newer ones, I really enjoyed them. I think Radio Silence did a great job with those. So Scream is going top tier. In fact, I'm going to move it to the front of top tier because it deserves it. It's so good. Okay, last one is Fear Street. Fear Street franchise. You know what? Really liked them all. I hope they do more, and I think they are doing more. But what I really liked about Fear Street is how the marketing for them was to release them 1 week after the other. That was amazing. I want Netflix to do more of those things. Releasing them one after the other, I think they were coming out every Monday or every Wednesday of the week. Gives you time to talk about it, gives you time to tell your friends to watch it, gives you time to theorize. I'm not a binge watch kind of guy, so I like to be able to take time within watching episodes and watching movies and having the time to talk to your people, your friends about them and just theorize. It's the best thing. So I'm going to leave Fear Street at the top. So there it is, there's my tier list. Hopefully you'll agree with at least some of the things I put on there. Maybe not all, but that's fine. You can let me know in the comments. It gives you a good indication of what kind of horror I'm into. Again, none of these are terrible, none of these are bad. Even if they're in the bottom category, it just means, you know, I wouldn't mind if they didn't make any more. If you did like the video though, please make sure to stab that like button right through the chest, pin it up against the wall, and then step back and admire your work. If you do know where that reference is from, you win nothing, but I will appreciate it if you could guess in the comments as well which reference that is. Which kill did we just kill the like button with? But thank you very much. Please like, please subscribe, and share this to your friends. Thanks.